He didn't disappear because she lost interest. She didn't pull away because you bored her. She didn't go quiet because she stopped caring. She went quiet because she cares too much. And that truth makes you uncomfortable because it destroys the story you've been telling yourself. You told yourself she doesn't value you. You told yourself she's playing games. You told yourself you're replaceable. But what if the real reason is harder? What if she's afraid of how much you matter to her? Let's expose it. When a woman truly doesn't care, she becomes careless. Short replies. No curiosity, no emotion, no reaction. Indifference is cold. But what you're dealing with isn't cold. It's inconsistent. One day she's warm, the next she's distant. One moment she's open, then suddenly closed. That's not avoidance. That's emotional conflict. That's someone fighting their own feelings. You say you want clarity, but you ignore emotional patterns. You focus on silence, not on tension. And tension is the clue. Here's the first truth. When she starts caring deeply, her fear increases, not decreases, because now she has something to lose. Before you mattered, nothing was at risk. She could be relaxed, carefree, playful. Now you matter. So her mind activates defense. What if I get hurt? What if I'm not enough? What if I lose him? What if I lose myself? Those thoughts don't come from disinterest. They come from attachment. This is called emotional threat response. When something becomes important, the brain becomes cautious. Protection mode turns on, and protection looks like distance. Now look at your experience. She didn't fully leave. She didn't cut you off. She just pulled back. Less availability, more hesitation, more overthinking. That's fear talking, not rejection. Here's the contradiction. You think love makes people move closer. Sometimes it makes them retreat, because closeness means vulnerability, and vulnerability means pain is possible. So her mind says, step back, regain control, don't fall too fast. But her heart doesn't agree. So she stays emotionally connected, just restrained. That's why it feels confusing. Now let's talk about the mental loop. She feels close to you. She gets emotionally excited. She feels exposed. She panics. She pulls back. She misses you. She returns. Repeat. That's the push-pull cycle. Not manipulation, self-protection. Her mind is fighting her feelings. You see mixed signals. She feels internal war. Now let's expose another truth. When she starts imagining a future with you, fear increases. Not romance, because now it's serious. Now it's real. Now failure would hurt. So she slows herself down. Emotionally, you notice it as distance. She feels it as survival. Cause behavior, consequence, cause strong emotional attachment, behavior, emotional withdrawal, consequence. You feel confused, not because she doesn't care, because she cares too much. Now ask yourself, does she still check on you? Does she still remember details? Does she still react emotionally? Does she still get affected by your moods? If yes, she's attached. People who don't care don't react. They don't overthink. They don't worry. They don't fluctuate. They detach cleanly. What you're seeing is hesitation, not exit. Here's the perception versus reality. Perception. She's losing interest. Reality. She's overwhelmed by it. Perception. She's playing hard to get. Reality. She's scared to get too close. Perception. She doesn't prioritize me. Reality. She's trying not to need you. Now, let's talk about subconscious conditioning. Many women learned early love equals pain, attachment equals loss, closeness equals disappointment. So, when they feel something real, their nervous system reacts. Danger, not logically, emotionally. So, they retreat even when they don't want to. You can't argue with that. You can't debate it. It's automatic. Now, here's where you usually mess up. You feel her distance. You panic. You text more. You explain more. You ask for reassurance. You seek clarity. You think you're fixing it. You're making it worse because pressure confirms her fear. It says, "This is becoming heavy." So she pulls back more. You chase, she withdraws. The loop tightens. That's the pursuit trap. You say you want closeness, but you create tension. You say you want security, but you show anxiety. And anxiety feels unsafe. Now, let's confront you. You want her to choose you, but you try to force certainty. You want her to relax, but you need guarantees. You want her to open, but you interrogate. That pushes her into defense every time. Here's the psychological truth. People open when they feel free, not when they feel evaluated, not when they feel pressured, not when they feel responsible for your emotions. Freedom creates trust. Trust creates intimacy. Now, let's talk about what actually helps. The first shift is emotional steadiness. You stop reacting to every change. You stop questioning every delay. You stop interpreting every pause. You stay grounded, calm, consistent. This tells her nervous system, "I'm safe. You don't have to protect yourself." That lowers her defenses. Second shift. You don't demand closeness. You allow it. You give space without resentment, without punishment, without coldness. Space given calmly feels safe. Space given angrily feels rejection. There's a difference. Third shift. You don't over-explain. You don't justify yourself constantly. You let your actions speak. Consistency builds security more than words ever will. Fourth shift. You keep your life strong. Goals, friends, purpose. You don't make her your emotional center. That removes pressure. She can breathe again. And when she can breathe, she moves closer naturally. Now, let's expose another contradiction. You want her to feel safe with you, but you're afraid to lose her, so you cling. Clinging feels unsafe. Stability feels safe. You can't fake stability. You build it. Now the mental shift. Stop asking, why is she distant? Start asking, how safe does she feel emotionally? Stop assuming rejection. Start recognizing fear. Stop chasing closeness. Start creating calm. That's the work. Now, identity reframing. You stop being the guy who worries. You become the man who is solid. You stop seeking reassurance. You become reassurance through your presence, through your consistency, through your composure. And that changes everything. Because when she feels, "I won't lose myself here. I won't be trapped. I won't be hurt easily," she relaxes. And when she relaxes, her love flows without resistance, without fear, without distance. One last question. How many times did you assume she didn't care when she was actually scared to care more? How many times did you almost walk away from someone who was emotionally overwhelmed? How many connections did you lose because you mistook fear for indifference? Not every withdrawal is rejection. Sometimes someone trying not to fall too hard. And if you handle it with maturity, with calm, with strength, with patience, she doesn't move further away. She moves closer because she learns With him, I don't have to run from my feelings. And that is when love becomes stable, not chaotic, not confusing, not fragile, real and lasting.